Friday night. High end-over-end kick short, going to be taken at about the 10-yard line by Costantino. He's got some room to run, breaks it free up to the 30-yard line, finally tackled down around the 33. Called a return of 22 yards officially, and the Huskies will set up on offense.
Huskies special teams working out real well there. The special teams unit set up a real nice wedge for him to run through, and if he would have broken that tackle, would have had a nice run down the field.
Well, we'll see what the Husky offense can do here this Friday night against the tough defensive front of the St. Charles East Saints. Scott, we didn't get to our predictions. We'll get to those in a second. I expect it to be a grinded-out kind of game. Defensive battle here today. We'll have to see how it goes. There's a double wing back. The give goes to Costantino. Fights his way forward across the 35-yard line out to the 37. And now, Scott, if you would, I'll put you on the spot for your prediction for today.
Well, Tim, I learned the lesson last week when I took Marian Catholic. Sometimes it's smart to pick the home team. I like,
well, especially when you did it right in front of everybody's parents, too. That was the best part of it.
They let me know about it, so and I was the one who was wrong. But I think Naperville North has a very strong defense this year, obviously, in the double wing running attack. I think it's really going to be too much for St. Charles East. I look for Naperville North to win this one easy.
Second down and call it 5. Double wing back. Give goes up the middle. That's the fullback, Mike Roney, fighting forward. Don't think he got back even to the original line of scrimmage.
Ball carrier.
Called a loss of a yard. Actually, Steve Sarm on the carry that time. And that will set up a big first third down of the game here for the Huskies. I will give you my prediction now. Defensive battle. 20-6, Naperville North.
20-6.
There you go. 10:49 to play in the first quarter of actions. Huskies have the ball to start this game at their own 37-yard line. There's a double wing back. Sleddy drops back to pass. He's got all kinds of time over the middle. Ball is broken up. Flags are all over the place. Going to be pass interference, looks like, on Lewis. J.J. Lewis all over the back that time.
No doubt about that call, Tim. And that'll give the Naperville North Huskies a first down. It's important for Naperville North to get their passing attack early. They won't rely on the arm of Rob Sleddy throughout the game, but if he can be just enough of a discouragement from the St. Charles East defense of putting 8 guys up in the box, that's going to open up that running attack to even more yardage.
That'll be a 15-yard penalty, spotted at the 48-yard line, and the Huskies are in Saints territory already. Double wingback formation once again behind Sleddy. In motion it goes. Give comes to the near side, fighting his way forward.
Number 9, Corey McEwen.
Is Corey McEwen. Gets about 3 yards.
It was a first down to the 48-yard line.
And that will bring up a second down and 8 yards to go, call it officially, from the 46-yard line for the Huskies. So we will see what kind of 2nd and 8 play Coach McEwen has in his book here. Once again, the double wing-back formation. 2 receivers split off to the far side. In motion goes Costantino, and there's some motion on that left side of that Husky line. Going to be a false start and back Naperville North up 5 yards.
That last play, Naperville North ran with Steph pretty well at the line of scrimmage. Matt Powell's doing a very nice job of getting into the backfield in that play and making him string it outside where there were plenty of St. Charles East defenders waiting for him.
So march off the penalty to the 49-yard line now of Naperville North. They back themselves up back into their own territory. It'll be second down and about 12 yards to go from there.
Illegal motion against the Huskies moves the ball back to the 49-yard line in Husky territory.
Double wing back set up once again in the backfield behind Sleddy. In motion goes Costantino. Here's the delayed draw up the middle. It goes. Steve Sarm fights his way forward. Tackled down around the original line of scrimmage at the 46-yard line of St. Charles East. That'll bring up a third down here for the Huskies.
St. Charles East only rushed 4 guys on that play. Dropped the rest back in somewhat of a nickel package. So as soon as he burst through the line, there were St. Charles East secondaries right on him.
Sarm spent half of last season injured, came back though towards the end of the year and was able to help lead those Huskies toward that state semifinal appearance that they did have. They battled injuries all of last season, but were able to get through that and click at the right time of the year. Sleddy drops back to pass. Here's the pass over the middle.
Huskies.
The defense through the middle and on the board after a 46.
Sleddy to Mike Constantino.
Just a very well executed play by the Naperville North offense here. Their offensive line did their job, allowed Slutty lots of time to stand back in the pocket and find his man. Constantino was streaking down the middle of the field, not a defender within 5 yards of him, took it all the way to the end zone. And that's the way the Naperville North offense has to operate this year if it hopes to be successful.
Rob Slutty will hold.
Nick Kostakis will come on to attempt the extra point here. And it is up. And it is through, making it 7-0. North strikes on their first drive, led by a pass interference call on a third down against the Saints.
Kostakis. Deep is 44. Ryan
It's Simeon High School tomorrow. Streamwood at Glenbard North, Glenbard East at Warren, and my alma mater, the Elgin High School Maroons. They're at West Aurora tonight. High, short kick, fair catch called for at the 29-yard line, and he's going down. Flags are all over the place. And on the fair catch was Brandon Jones, and he got leveled by a swarm of Husky defenders coming in there.
Yeah, that'll push them towards about the 45-yard line. Great field position for St. Charles. If you're Naperville North, you really can't ask for a better start to this ball game because your running game wasn't getting off to a wonderful start there with Steve Sarm and company, not getting a lot of yardage. So go to the arm of Rob Slutty, who comes through with about a 48-yard touchdown pass. And now that plants the seed into the St. Charles East defenders. They have to worry about what Rob Slutty's going to do back there when he drops back to pass.
So we will have to see what the St. Charles offense can do, led by Chris Powell. Offset eye in the backfield behind him. One receiver split to each side, barks out the signal. Give goes up the middle, fighting his way forward with the ball carrier.
That's
Jeff Alessino with a carry there.
I thought I saw 37. That's why I was looking at you perplexed.
He had a really nice second half last week. 11 carries for 77 yards. And he and Rockefeller had the 3 touchdowns last night, but Alessino was the one picking up most of the yardage.
That was fair catch interference, the penalty called against the Huskies, by the way. Only a 10-yard penalty. Here's the shotgun formation lineup, as we talked about earlier. 3 receivers split to the far side, 1 to the near. Powell ducks back, takes the snap, looking downfield, got a man going deep down the sideline. Didn't catch it inbounds, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds. The intended receiver, J.J. Lewis. Great coverage there by the Huskies.
You know, Tim, we saw them practice that particular pass throughout warm-ups. That's about a 30-yard pass just down the near sidelines. Pretty much on target, just about a yard out of bounds. A nice catch by J.J. Lewis on that play. But it won't count.
It'll be a 3rd down and 7 for the Saints with 8 minutes and 30 seconds to play in the first quarter of action. Shotgun formation lines up once again. Single back in the backfield, offset to the far side of Powell. Takes the snap, delayed handoff, goes up the middle. Gonna fight his way forward, and getting close to the first down is Alessino. Gonna be about just short, it looks like. Probably about a 4th down and 1 situation here, so we will have to see what the Saints will do.
Chris Powell in that play doing a nice job of selling the pass just until that defensive line were able to penetrate the offensive line, and then the delayed draw picked up just about 10 yards. They're going to bring out the chain to see if that'll be enough for the first down.
It's going to be close, as the wind is also blowing very blusterly. An east-west wind blowing straight in towards us. Here's the measurement. We'll have to see what it is. While we've got a second, I want to take a moment to remind you that if you're headed out to the last fling tomorrow, you can say hello to the staffers from Pure Rock FM 89. They'll be out there from 4 o'clock until 8 o'clock tomorrow night. And the measurement, I believe, is going to be good enough for the first down. So call it a gain of 9 by Alessino, and it'll be a first down for the Saints in Husky territory at the 47-yard line.
Line of scrimmage is the 47-yard line.
So a very delayed draw that time, good enough for the first down. Shotgun formation sets up once again. 2 receivers to the near side, or to the far side rather, 1 to the near. Alessino lines up as a slot receiver on the far side. A little bit of confusion on the line of scrimmage. Now they're given the go. Split to the near side is Rockefeller. He's the lone back in the backfield. The give will go up the middle, and the Huskies read that one. Rockefeller gets the carry and gets drilled at the line of scrimmage by a horde of Husky defenders. No gain on the play. So it'll be a 2nd down and 10 for the Saints. They're going to give them about a half-yard officially just past the original line of scrimmage. And the Saints will once again line up in that shotgun formation that we talked about. Snap goes way over Powell's head. He's got to get it, and he's going to carry. He's got some room to run. It's absolutely drilled all the way back at the 42-yard line of the Saints. Little bit of miscommunication there as the center snapped the ball way over Powell's head. Very fortunate the Saints didn't lose that football, though.
Doubly bad on that play, Tim, as Naperville North was bringing about 6 guys in a passing situation. It was about a 2nd and 10. So as soon as that ball went over Powell's head, there was trouble.
So it'll be a 3rd down in eternity. 3rd and 21 here for the Saints. They will line up with backs in the backfield, split to each side of Powell, who's in the middle. 2 receivers to the near side and 1 to the far. Here's the snap. Back goes Powell. Pump fakes once. Goes deep down the sideline. Got his man. He's intercepted by the Huskies. Brian Babuska's got some running room down the far sideline. He goes. Going to be driven out of bounds inside the Saints' 30-yard line. And the Huskies will take over deep in St. Charles territory.
This brings back the offense at the beginning of the game was moving the ball so well. Just a couple of mistakes allowed Naperville Central to get out to a big lead from which the Spartans could never recover. Here, quarterback Chris Powell threw one deep down the far side. Naperville North has great field position on the Saints' 30-yard line.
Great defense that time by the Huskies on that play. Give goes to McEwen. Finds his Make it 13-0 on the scoreboard. Corey McEwen breaks a couple tackles, gets down that sideline and into the end zone.
Corey McEwen, one of the players to watch on this Naperville North team. He plays both ways, running back and linebacker. Once he got past the line of scrimmage there was no one in the Saints secondary that was going to go all the way to the end zone. But once again, mistakes on offense come back to haunt the visiting team, as the Saints will be down at least 13 points only halfway through this first quarter of action.
Well, the Huskies have been a big play team so far this season. No doubt here, continuing the same thing. Nick Kostakis on for the extra point attempt. Here it is. It goes up, and that one splits the uprights good as well, making 14-0 Huskies with 6:20. To an early 14-0 lead on St. Charles East. Both guys receiving the kick for the Saints line up at about their 15-yard line, anticipating a short kick from Nick Kostakis. Here it is. It's a high end-over-end kick, going to go back about the 18-yard line and dropped right there, taken by number 22 for the Saints, Kevin Mullen. And his knee was down when he did catch that ball at the 18, and that'll be the spot where the Saints will have to set up.
Tough break for the Saints there that Mullen's knee did touch the ground, because if not, he was going to break it for about a 15 to 20-yard return.
Well, the Saints got their work cut out for them early here. Haven't been able to move that ball too much and have been hurt by their own mistakes. Big interception return by the Huskies' Brian Bravuska set up that big 29-yard touchdown run from Corey McEwen. Double backfield for the Saints. Gibbs goes to the far side. Fakes me out even. Ball carrier there for the Huskies, or for the Saints rather, is Jeff Alessino. Gets maybe a yard if he's lucky. And they will spot it at the 20-yard line, so give a yard for the Saints. And that Husky defensive front is not giving up anything for the Saints so far.
Not yet, and the linebackers on this Husky team also a big strength. The defensive line experience, but the linebackers are great too. Choi, Davis, and McEwen, the 3 starters in there for the Huskies.
Pro set in the backfield, one receiver to the near side, dropping back to passes. Powell rolls to the near side, got some room to run, goes downfield over the middle, pass is complete. That's to Nate Juganitz. Nate Juganitz, the tight end. That'll be a first down for the Saints, and a nice read that time.
That was a very good read, Tim. Powell rolled out to the near side here, bought himself some time, and found Juganitz in the middle of about 5 Husky defenders. Just placed the ball right between the 4 and the 7 on his jersey.
Almost looked as though Powell was going to tuck and run. Decided that instead he had a man open over the middle for a first down. Spotted at the 37-yard line. Pro set in the backfield once again. One receiver to the near side. Here's the give, going to go up the middle. A fake option that time. Ball carrier is once again Alessino. Gets a couple yards out to the 40-yard line.
Jeff Alessino, the ball carrier. Line of scrimmage is the 39.
Saints offensive line actually got a real good push on that play. The linebackers, as I was just mentioning, an excellent core for this Husky defense, right there to pick up their defensive line.
Clock ticking now, under 5 minutes here at Naperville North High School. The Huskies leading St. Charles East by a count of 14-0. 2 quick scores on 2 big plays for the Huskies. Offset eye in the backfield now behind Powell. Fakes the option now. He's going to go the pitch to the outside. That's number 30, Jake Rockefeller. Got some room to run. Fights his way forward about a yard or 2 short of that first down marker, out around the 46-yard line.
It's the first real sign of life we've seen from this Saints running game tonight. Comes at the feet of Jake Rockefeller, the fullback, 5'11", 160-pound junior. Got to take that outside on the option to get anywhere.
He's very quick for a fullback, has a lot of speed. That's going to set up a third down and short. One receiver split to the near side, double backs in the backfield behind Powell, barks out the signals. There it goes, give up the middle. Rockefeller got some room to run, fights his way forward into Naperville North territory, down around the Husky 44-yard line.
You know, Tim, after starting their first 2 possessions in that shotgun offense that we talked about in the pregame, this whole drive, the Saints have gone from the regular pro set backfield, no shotgun. It seems to me the coaches are thinking it's more important to get that running game going than even to confuse the defense with their multiple sets in that shotgun.
Well, it's working out very well for them. They're mixing up their looks, and the Naperville North defense looks confused so far on this drive. Spotted at the 44-yard line. Pro set in the backfield once again. Give goes up the middle, fights his way forward as Rockefeller inside the Husky 40-yard line, tackled around the 39. Call it a pickup of 6 yards. 2nd down and 4, and the Saints are on the move here.
David Shore, the tackler, 44.
Clock ticks down, around 3 minutes to play in the first quarter of action. David Choi in on the stop that time for the Huskies. So it'll be a 2nd down and 4 for St. Charles East here. Pro set in the backfield once again. 2 tight ends, receiver split away to the far side. Huskies show a blitz from the near side. There it goes. Give goes up the middle. Rockefeller going to be upended. It goes head over heels. Head over heels for those Husky defenders, that is, as he picks up about 3 yards.
2 yards.
Going to be a 3rd down and about 2 here.
Peter Wang, the tackler, number 3.
This entire drive, as I mentioned, the Saints offensive line has been getting a nice push, helped by the fullback, Rockefeller, taking the lead block on there. On that last play, now with 3rd and 2, we're able to get it right up the gut again.
Spotted at the Husky 37-yard line. 4 down territory, particularly already being down 2 touchdowns in this one. Powell drops back, a pump fake, and down goes his intended receiver. Looked like he was trying to go to Matt Jacobsmeyer. He was about at the 30-yard line when he got upended past that 5-yard zone. Pass interference against the Huskies. It will be a first down for St. Charles East.
Not a smart play by the Husky defenders. A quite obvious pass interference call as he was taken down about 6 yards past the line of scrimmage. Had no chance to make that catch, but Saints offense will pick up 15 yards on this pass interference penalty. They've taken this ball about 50 yards so far in this drive. Done it all through the running game.
Spotted at the 22-yard line of Naperville North. 2:14 on the clock here in the first quarter of play. Naperville North on top 14-0. St. Charles East on the move, though. First down and 10 for the Saints. All out of this pro set formation as well. Double tight ends once again. One receiver split to the near side. Powell barks out the signals, looks to his right. And now he takes the snap. The give goes up the middle. That's Alessino. Got some room to run. Fights his way forward. Down around the 15-yard line.
27 makes the stop.
Spotted at the 17, a pickup of 4. And the Saints have been using that ground game unbelievably here on this drive.
Surprising to me how well this Saints offensive line is pushing around the Huskies defensive line. The defensive line, a lot of experience on that line for the Huskies. At this point in the game, they're just not getting very good off the snap.
Same exact look as it was the last time. This time a pitch goes to the far side. Alessino fights his way forward across the 15. Tackled around the 14-yard line. Going to be short of that first down marker by 2 yards. And a big third down here for St. Charles East with 1:25 to go in the first quarter.
Brian Pry, an excellent tackle on that play for this Husky defense. He went in there, shoulder pad first, trying to jar that ball loose from the ball carrier. Didn't succeed in that, but did stop him. It's now a 3rd and 2 deep in Husky territory.
Pro set formation in the backfield. One receiver split off to the far side. That's Lewis. Powell ducks under center. He's got Alessino and Rockefeller behind him. Give goes to Rockefeller up the middle, and the Huskies need him right away. It's going to be close to that first down marker, but I think he's just short. Call it a gain of 1, and he is short of that first down.
And that time, the Naperville North Husky defense got great penetration from their defensive line. Brendan Lubert was the one who made the tackle. 6 foot, 220-pound senior defensive lineman burst through that line, made the tackle.
And the crowd will begin to get into it here as the Saints appear to be going for it on a 4th down and 1. And why not down 2 touchdowns?
Last year, the Saints' kicking game was unsuccessful on all 4 field goal attempts they tried. So, kicking game not exactly a strong point of the St. Charles East football team.
The Saints. Behind that ground game. Pro set formation behind him again. Gibbs goes to Rockefeller.
Saints got deep in the Husky territory. They were not able to move the ball on the ground. They had the rest of the drive. Now they paid for it. Huskies have the ball. No points put on the board, even though a fantastic drive from the Saints.
Well, a fantastic drive it was indeed for St. Charles East. Coming up short, Huskies got a flag on the field. Give goes to McEwen, fights his way forward, picks up about 10 yards. But the penalty's probably going to go. No play, illegal shift on the Huskies.
That play will not hold up.
Back him up 5 yards. And it'll be a 1st and 15 for Naperville North. From their own 12-yard line, St. Charles East, that could be a turning point in that game if they cannot stop the Huskies here. Because they were deep in Naperville North territory and could not put any points on the board. You mentioned the problems with the kicking game. That leaves them only one option to go for it on that 4th and 1. And the Huskies knew what they were going to do.
Last year, the Saints tried 3 field goals in the 20s and 1 from beyond 30 yards. None of them were good. As I said, the kicking game not a strong point of this club. J.J. Lewis handles the kickoffs as well as the punting. He plays safety and wide receiver too. Just about does it all.
A little bit of confusion, I believe, with the clock or the positioning of the ball. I think they're just going to be content to let that run out for the end of the first quarter. That appears what it's going to be. After 1 quarter, Naperville North on top of St. Charles East, 14-0. A fantastic first quarter for the Huskies. Shift called against them. Line up in the double wing. McEwen goes in motion. The give is going to go up the middle. That's Sarm. He's got all kinds of room. Fights his way forward.
The ball carrier, 33.
Going to go about the 22-yard line.
23-yard line.
Costantino actually the ball carrier that time. That's one of the things about this Naperville North team is with that double wing set, you never know which one of those 3 backs in the backfield is going to get that ball.
It creates a lot of confusion for the defense, Tim. That's why with 3 backs, back there. You don't have to have an all-state kind of running back. If you have 3 solid running backs in this double-wing offense, they all can prosper.
Pitch to the near side, it goes. Sarm, he's got some running room, going to be leveled at around the 28-yard line. Going to be good enough for a first down for the Huskies, and there goes the idea of a 3-and-out.
It's a first down.
Spotted officially at the 29-yard line.
First down at the 29-yard line.
And the Huskies have been on the move in this game, confusing that defensive front of the Saints like you wouldn't believe. And they lead it 14-0 here with slightly over 11 minutes to play. Double wingback set once again. Receiver split to each side. Give goes up the middle. Steve Sarm's got some room to go. Fights forward. Going to get maybe a yard or 2 on that one. Bringing up a 2nd down and 9 for the Huskies.
Tyler Caruso made the tackle there for the St. Charles East Saints. He was coming up from his spot in the secondary. Made the tackle.
So 2nd down and 9 for Naperville North. Double wingback set behind Sleddy again. In motion goes McEwen. Give goes up the middle. That's that's Costantino rather. He's got some room to run. Gets his way forward all the way to the 45-yard line, but a flag back in the backfield. And it's going to be a false start against the Huskies, so that play will not count.
It's too bad for Naperville North, Tim, because that was a great play. Set up by the blocking of the center, Marty Fernelli, 6'4", 250 pounds. He's the leader on that offensive line. Just drove block St. Charles East nose tackle out of the way. It was about a 15-yard pickup for Constantino, but that'll come back. Still promising blocking from Fernelli.
Well, Scott, we've just been handed a copy of the first quarter stats. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick peek at what happened in that first quarter, which led to the 14-0 Naperville North lead that's on the board right now.
Well, Tim, Naperville North with 88 yards of offense in that first quarter. St. Charles only 48. Naperville North on offense now in that first quarter. Corey McEwen, 2 rushes, 32 yards in that touchdown, along with 30 yards. Steve Sarm, 2 for 5, and Rob Slutty, 1 pass attempt, 1 completion. He made a count. It's a 46-yard touchdown.
Sleddy drops back to pass again, going down for the running back screen. He's got his man, Steve Sarm, flagged down, going to be called for an illegal block probably, and back the Huskies up even more.
I think that's going to be actually an illegal man downfield, Tim. Looks like the offensive line got out in front of the receiver, Constantino. We'll see what the referee says.
Was a designed screen, and they're just going to wave off the flag. So that'll be spotted at the 34-yard line for the Huskies.
I do think that's why that flag was thrown there, Tim. You could see the referees and the linesmen pointing to the field and where they thought the lineman was and where the receiver was, and they determined that everything was just okay on that play. It'll stand. About a 5-yard pickup for the Huskies.
Naperville North eating away at this clock here. 9.5 minutes to go, but as we look at the first quarter stats, Scott, St. Charles East, 8 minutes and 39 seconds had the ball in that first quarter, yet they're down 14-0. Here's a big 3rd and 5 for the Huskies. Over the middle it goes, pass is tipped, and it's going to be intercepted by the Saints. That's number 55, Bill Carney. He's got some room to run, going to be tackled finally at the Husky 25-yard line, and the Saints get a big break there.
Tim, just as I was about to say that Naperville North didn't need time of possession because they were coming up with big plays, St. Charles East comes up with one of their own. Bill Carney takes the interception last year, 32 tackles. He's the defensive captain out there for the St. Charles East Saints, setting the tone out there. Big interception. St. Charles East has a chance to put some points on the board deep in Husky territory.
Well, they need to convert again here. This is the second time they've started deep, or the second time they've been deep in Husky territory. Didn't convert on the first one. Pro set formation. Give goes up the middle. Rockefeller fights his way forward to about the 21-yard line.
Taking a look at those first quarter stats, Tim. Rockefeller in that first quarter, 7 carries for 21 yards with a long of 10. Jeff Alessino, 6 carries for 21 yards. And Chris Powell quarterbacking the St. Charles East Saints, 1 of 3 with an interception. 17 yards, his only pass complete to Nate Juginez.
Pick up a 4 on the play. Call it a 2nd down and 6. I formation in the backfield now. Good goes to Rockefeller. Fights his way forward. Not going to get much there. Maybe a yard if he's lucky. It'll bring up a 3rd down for the Saints.
One more point from these first quarter stats, Tim. Taking a look at the penalties. Naperville North last week had 5 penalties the entire game. This week, already in the first quarter, 4 penalties for 35 yards.
It is very big to get those penalties called against you. 8:20 to play here in the first half of action. Here's the shotgun formation for the Saints. 2 receivers split to each side. Powell takes the snap, goes deep over the middle, and a little bit of miscommunication there, I think. Looked like he was trying to go for Jake Rockefeller over the middle. Threw it before he got to where he was supposed to be. Bring up a 4th down here, and well, we talked about the Saints kicking woes. Going to have to go for it here probably, although you might want to try to get some points on the board in the situation.
Well, they're going to go for it, Tim. Not much choice if you're the St. Charles East Saints. If you can't kick, you're going to have to go for it every time when you're 4th and short down inside Husky territory.
Not in the red zone yet. Spotted about the 21-yard line. Shotgun formation for the Saints. Here's the snap. It goes. Powell blitz in the backfield. Screen is complete over the middle to Lewis. He's got some room to run. He's going to get the 1st down and more inside the 15-yard line. Tackled around the 13. And wow, what a play by Chris Powell that time as he had pressure coming at him all over the place after a safety blitz from the Huskies, but he reads it good enough to get a 1st down.
Basically a wide receiver screen on that play, Tim, to J.J. Lewis. They allowed the defensive lineman to get through that offensive line, put some pressure on Powell. Powell knew he had Lewis on the near side of the field. He got him. It's enough for the 1st down. This drive remains alive.
1st down and 10 for the Saints now inside the red zone at the 14-yard line. Give goes up the middle. That's a Siciliano. Alessino, excuse me.
Tim, they took that play right over massive offensive guard Dave Huber, 6'3", 275 pounds. He's the key guy on that offensive line. They also returned 2 other starters, but Huber's the big guy. They'll run over him more often than not.
Alessino picks up about 3 yards, spotted at the 10-yard line. Golden scoring chance here for the Saints, trying to cut into this 14-0 Naperville North lead. This is the 4th time these teams have met. Last year's game was the only game that wasn't as close as the other ones. 30-22, 8-point game, the biggest one. Fake pass over, or fake draw over the middle. Pass goes over the middle, intended for the guy on the ground right there, if I can get his number. As he runs away, that's Lewis. Tried to catch that one over the middle. Couldn't get up with that one, though. A little bit of a delayed play there. Had me fooled on the draw up the middle.
Saints lined up Tim Ainsworth in the backfield on that play. That was important to note because he picked up a blitzing lineman and able to at least get that pass opportunity off.
Well, St. Charles East is going to take a timeout here, Scott, to try to talk over what they're going to do on this 3rd down and 7. And this is another opportunity for the Saints to convert once again. A big chance here. They need to get some points on the board. Here, going to line up in the shotgun formation. 3 receivers split to the near side, 1 to the far. To the left to Chris Powell. High snap, takes it, pressure from the near side. Got nowhere to go, and down he goes. I believe that's Corey McEwen right there on the sack.
Tim, Corey McEwen came around the right end, completely unblocked. No one laid a hand on Corey McEwen. He picks up the sack. That's a big loss for St. Charles of 9 yards, I believe, making it 4th down. Wonderful play by Corey McEwen. Those Husky linebackers playing big time in this game today.
4th and 17 is entering the game as Sean Saffey. Probably going to be a 5-receiver set here, I would imagine, for the Saints. And as soon as I say that, 2 line up to the far side, 1 to the near. 4th down and 15 to go. Here it goes. Going to be an option play to Rockefeller. Tried to loses the handle. Ball is loose. Nobody's over there for the Saints. It's picked up by the Huskies. Down the sideline he goes. He's got room to the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown Huskies. Big play kills the Saints again. David Choi on the fumble recovery races down the sideline 60 yards. to put the Huskies up 20-0.
Tim, there was a lot of stuff going on in that play. David Choi made the pickup on the fumble, but I am not sure that wasn't some kind of a halfback option.
That's what it looked like.
It looked like he was getting ready to throw the ball, which made him susceptible to that fumble. He put the ball on the turf, and then again, just as we got done talking about how well the Naperville North linebackers have been playing this game, another one. David Choi steps up and takes that fumble all the way back. And again, just as we talked about a game getting out of hand very quickly, another big mistake by the St. Charles East Saints. 6 more points on the board for the Naperville North Huskies. They're going to try to make it 21-0. And again, Tim, they get behind so fast in this game. Went wrong, what they might be able to do better in blocking assignments, particularly because it's 2 plays down in the red zone. Naperville North's linebacker was able to penetrate deep into the backfield.
Well, here comes the PAT attempt now on its way from Nick Kostakis. Kick is up. That's a line drive right through the uprights. It is good. Make it 21-0 Naperville North behind a big fumble recovery. 60-yard scamper down the sidelines by David Choi.
You have some table cards at halftime also. Taking at the 8-yard line. Bring up the pipe to the 28-yard line.
And on the kick return, gets out to about the 28-yard line, and the Saints are back on the field once again, and they're going to have to try to figure what the heck is going on in this game. That's what they're going to say.
And the tackler.
So important for the St. Charles Saints offense to get a score here. Put something on the board before halftime so this game doesn't look too far out of reach. Again, 21-0 currently. That's not to say the Saints haven't played a good game. Their offense has been moving the ball wonderfully, especially on the ground. Just no points for their efforts so far in the evening.
Shotgun formation. The fullback Rockefeller lines up as a receiver. Screen goes over the middle. It's complete to number 40, J.J. Lewis, the star receiver for the Saints, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. It's a gain of about 5 yards. See what the call is. It'll be a false start against the Saints, so that play will not count.
As we said, Tim, just no time to regroup after that demoralizing fumble. They come out the first play after they get back possession off a kickoff in a false start.
Every time something good seems to happen for the Saints, they have something that comes back and kicks them in the rear end. Whether it be a big play or not. Spotted at the 23-yard line now for the Saints, a first down and 15. Shotgun formation once again. Alessino is the lone back to the left of Powell. 2 receivers split to the near side and 1 to the far. High snap it goes. Delayed draw up the middle. Alessino fights his way forward. Gets a couple yards. Spotted at the 25. Pickup of 2 on the play.
After going from the pro set for most of the possession 2 possessions ago, last time down the field, the Saints did go from the shotgun almost all the way down, and again coming out in this possession from the shotgun as well.
It's going to be 2nd and 13.
Doesn't look as though the shotgun's getting them very much, though, on the ground. When they were trying to move the ball on the ground, it was that pro set that was getting it done. Out of the shotgun formation again. This time, though, 2 backs in the backfield, 1 to each side. Alessino to the left, Rockefeller to the right. High snap over Powell's head. He has to go back and get it at the 10, and he's going to be taken down by Corey McEwen inside the 10-yard line at about the 7.
Boy, you could see that one coming a mile away. That's at least the 4th snap on the evening from that shotgun. That's been high. 2, the quarterback Powell was able to jump and get, but 2 went over his head, 1 for a large loss on that first possession, and this one will drive them back to the 7-yard line.
Well, that's another problem for the Saints out of this shotgun formation. They can't seem to get anything going because the snaps are going high. It just creates another problem for them. And now they've got 3rd in the city of Naperville to go, so I hope they're ready to come out here and try to do something.
Back to the pro set here, Tim.
They will line up out of the pro set, as you said. Delayed option going to go. Room to run for Powell. Fights his way forward down around the 24-yard line, so picks up some yardage at least. And the Saints will have to kick it away with 4:15 to play in the first half of action.
At least that gets them out of the shadow of their own end zone. Punter will have some room to work here. The field position won't be as great as if they tried to pass and had an incomplete on that last one.
Don Carlson will go back to receive for the Huskies. Right next to him will be number 24, Jim Yesnick.
This is number 40.
Here's the punt from Lewis, nearly blocked. Short kick, gonna be bouncing at the 40-yard line, takes a Husky roll, and gonna be down by the Saints at the 39-yard line. Big time pressure in the backfield that time, and the Huskies have a very short field to work with here to make it a 4-touchdown game.
That was Dan Laham with some good pressure on the punter. I'm not sure if he might have just gotten a finger on that. That one kind of fluttered toward the far side. Very poor punt for the Saints, as the Huskies will take over again in Saints territory.
Huskies line up in that double wing formation once again. 2 receivers to the near side. In motion goes McEwen. Dropping back to pass is Sleddy. Short one gonna bounce, and Steve Sarm will catch it on the 1-hop. But in this game, that's not legal. Have to catch it on the fly. Incomplete pass. Sets up a 2nd down and 10.
A more forceful toss would have got there. Looked like Sleddy threw that one just sort of off the back foot. Not enough gas on that one to get there. Otherwise, it would have been a nice gain.
Just another one of those plays that confused the heck out of the Saints. The Naperville North Huskies offense runs so many different looks out of that double wing set. That time a double fake on the handoff, and then Sleddy rolled towards the near side, finally was able to get that pass off and skip it just short of Steve Sarm. They line up in the double wing again. Sleddy this time drops back to pass, rolls to the near side, got some room downfield, pass is complete. Costantino makes the catch, fights his way out of bounds. Actually, that's going to be number 23, Mike Roney on the catch. Big play for the Huskies again, down inside the Saints 20-yard line, 1st and 10 at the 14.
Tim Ainsworth, defensive end for the St. Charles Saints, took on 5 Naperville North blockers there and still almost got to the quarterback. Nice read by Sleddy to get that ball just off in time. Otherwise, Ainsworth might have had a shot at him.
Double wing formation again. In motion comes Costantino. Give goes up the middle. Steve Sarm fights his way forward close to the 10-yard line.
Talk about Ainsworth once again. He read that play as a draw. Got him by the feet. Brought him down for a short gain.
Chris Dunn also in on that tackle for the Saints. Number 79. Big guy. 6'2", 220 on the defensive line. Down to the 3-minute mark to play in the first half of action. Huskies threatening to get on the board again. They lead at 21-0 over St. Charles East. Double wingback set in the backfield. Give it goes up the middle. That's Costantino. Fights his way forward. Gets a couple yards before he's brought down. And it'll be a 3rd down and about 4 yards to go. Third down and 4 inside the 10-yard line, spotted at the 8 of St. Charles East. And boy, do the Saints need to hold Naperville North on this play. We will see what kind of 3rd and short call Coach McEwen has as the call comes from the near side. Checking into the game with that call is number 8 for the Huskies, Kyle Morgan. Double wing formation once again. Sleddy ducks under center, takes the snap. Daw pass over the middle, nearly caught for the touchdown, but it's dropped by Mike Costantino.
It would have been one heck of a catch by Costantino. He went up with one arm, tried to bring it down in his right hand, but was unable to corral it in as the pass went skittering through the end zone.
Faked the draw up the middle. The Sarm went instead with the pass to Costantino, nearly brought it down for the touchdown. And we will have Nick Kostakis in to attempt about a 27-yard field goal, and it's blocked. The ball is loose on the floor, on the field rather, and it's going to be picked up by the Saints. J.R. Eli makes the recovery for the Saints. No points for the Huskies, and there's a big stop for the Saints defense.
Pretty sure that play was actually blocked by a Naperville North lineman. The kick had no elevation whatsoever. Went right into that line. I think bounced off the center there. So the Saints get lucky there. They don't give up any points, even though Naperville North was on the 7-yard line.
So 1st down and 10 for the Saints. Spotted at their own 13. They'll run out of the I formation this time. Powell ducks under center. Give goes up the middle. That's Alessino. Ducks under a couple blockers. Tries to fight his way forward. Not much there. Gets maybe a yard.
Alessino tried to make some cuts in the backfield there, make something out of nothing, but everywhere he turned, there was a Naperville North defensive lineman that did a nice job collapsing the offensive line there and gave Alessino no room to run.
Clock ticking here at Harshbarger-Wellsville Field. Down around a minute and a half to play in the first half of action. Tim Messer and Norm Ramil in the FM 89 studios will keep you up to date on everything that's going on. Also some first half analysis at the half. All kinds of motion on the right side of the line that time. Penalty flags all over and a false start on the whole right side of that line.
And that's an easy one for the referee to call there, Tim. I don't even have to wait for the call, do we?
Not really. We had a tight end, an offensive tackle, and also a guard move on the right side of that line.
At least they were in tandem.
Yeah, they were in sync in that sense. A little bit of a miscommunication, I'm sure, on what the snap count was going to be. That'll back the Saints up 5 yards and bring up a second down and 13.
And the ball is brought back to the 9-yard line.
You might call it second and 14, rather. And the Saints are going to be inside their own 10-yard line, spotted at the 9. 1:20 to play in the first half of action. Naperville North on top of St. Charles East, 21-0.
And now the Saints somewhat limited. You can't go from the shotgun back here. They're having so many problems with the snap from center. They're going to have to run from pro set, which will limit their plays.
Here's the pro set blitz coming from the near side. Pass goes in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Taylor Clausen. Had his hands on it, and if you get your hands on it, you got to come up with the catch. No luck, incomplete.
Should have been an easy 10-yard gain for the Saints offense there, as we said, again, getting out of the shadow of their own end zone. That ball was just dropped. In a game of this magnitude, it's a catch that has to be made.
Well, the way that Naperville North's offense has been playing, I'm not so sure the Saints want to kick the ball away here in any situation. They don't want to do anything because Naperville North has been doing so good on the offensive side of the ball. They will line up out of the shotgun this time.
Almost think a run for a share here to try to run out the clock.
There is a run up the middle. It goes to Rockefeller. Jake Rockefeller fights his way forward down around the 12-yard line, and I think Naperville North up St. Charles East is going to take a timeout.
North was going for one, too.
For a good snap. Back deep to receive for the Huskies, standing at their 40-yard line. Once again, the same two numbers, Don Carlson and Jim Yesnick. Penalty flags are down at the line of scrimmage. Probably a delay of game. Wait for the official call. And if that's the case, it's just going to back the Saints up some more. Looks like they're marching them forward.
Too many men on the field, maybe, Tim? I can't tell.
Didn't see an official indication from the official as to what that was. Might have been offsides. Maybe lined up in the neutral zone on that defensive line. Anyway, well, they'll line up, and Lewis will now stand at his 5-yard line to try to kick this one away. Here it comes, pressure again on the near side. High, booming kick, going to be taken by Yesnick at the 50. Got some room to run, going to be wrestled down at the 45-yard line, and the Huskies have 49 seconds to try to put some more points on the board.
Nice kick by Lewis, and that it gave his coverage team time to get down there and make the tackle. Much preferable to a line drive punt here where Huskies could have made something out of a return, but St. Charles is right there to make the tackle. In particular, Tim Ainsworth, defensive end standout, got down the field in a hurry to make that tackle.
Jim Yesnick, about a 5-yard return for the Huskies. With 49 seconds to go in the first half of play, the Huskies will line up in the offset I formation, single back in the backfield. Here's a pass going to be low and incomplete, intended for number 23, Mike Roney. Roney actually played running back for the Huskies last season as a junior, filled in nicely when Kevin Hahn and Steve Sarm went down for the Huskies. This year switching over a little bit, just moving out into that double wing formation. I'll bring up a 2nd and 10 with 46 ticks left on the first half clock. Here's the double wing once again for the Huskies. Sleddy ducks under center, barks out the signal. Pitch goes end around to Corey McEwen, double reverse. He's got some room to run out of bounds at about the 36-yard line, and down goes an official on the far sideline. And there once again is that double wingback set, just confusing the heck out of the defensive front.
We saw a confused defense last week in Marion Catholic as they weren't sure what Naperville Central was throwing at them once again this week. Naperville North's double wing offense. Looks like it should be easy with 3 running backs in the game. They're going to run the ball, but you don't know where or how.
3rd down and 1 at the 36-yard line. 39 seconds on the clock. Pitch goes. Fighting his way forward and going to get the first down is Costantino.
30-yard line for 6 yards.
Spotted at the 31. A first down and 10 for the Huskies. 34 seconds to go.
The tackle was made by 53.
And I think the Huskies are going to call for a timeout. They will. For Costantino on that far sideline, pass is actually picked off. Brian Schmidt in on the interception for the Saints.
That was intended for Mike Roney down on the near sidelines for Naperville North, but Rob Slutty was looking at his receiver from the snap of the ball there. Not real difficult for the St. Charles East secondary to pick up on that, and they got in front of the pass, made the play with 28 seconds left in the first half in their own territory.
Well, you think the Saints are going to try to move the ball down the field at all, or are going to be content to go into the half down 21-0?
Yeah, they will get the ball on the second half kickoff, so we'll see if that has anything to do with their decision here.
Spotted at the 23-yard line. Powell drops back to pass, got his man on the near side. That's Lewis out of bounds at the 31.
This again, Tim, where the lack of a real kicking game hurts the Saints, because not only do they have to get in field goal range to put points on the board, they really have to get into the end zone here.
Only 5 seconds tick off the clock on that gain of 6. 2nd down and 4 now for the Saints. From their own 30-yard line, got 70 yards to go. Maybe if they can get inside that 20, they might try a field goal to get some kind of points on the board. Pro set formation in the backfield once again. Powell drops back to pass. He's got time. Going deep on the far sideline. Flags all over the place. The catch is made. That's Kevin Mullen inside the 40-yard line and finally wrestled down at the 37. Probably going to be a pass interference against the Huskies. I'm sure will be declined and result in a big first down for the Saints.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be defensive pass interference there, Tim, it looks like. So the ball will stay in Husky territory. We talked early about how St. Charles East was going to have to use the run to set up the pass. Now they're just passing. They have to with only 14 seconds left on the clock. But as we talked about in the pregame warm-ups, Chris Powell really has a nice touch on his passes. Showed it again there, hitting his receiver in stride. He picked up about 10 yards after the catch as well.
Don't be surprised to see the passing attack continue for the Saints after a gain of 33 on that one. Probably going to carry that over into the second half. 14 seconds to go on the clock in the first half of this one. Shotgun formation for the Saints. Powell gets the snap. It's a clean one. Rolls back towards the near sideline, trying to get some room to run and trying to go out of bounds. Fights his way forward. He's not going to get out of bounds. And he won't get to the 30-yard line either. Tackled at the 32. That'll run out the clock for the first half of play, with Naperville North on top 21-0. But Scott, if you're the Saints, Saints, here's the kick, a high end-over-end kick, going to be taken by Mullen at about his own 7-yard line. Fakes the reverse, goes back around, he's got some room to run on the near sideline, clears one tackler, fights his way to the inside up around his own 36-yard line, and that appeared to be a designed play to start off the second half.
I'd like to get a nice return coming off of the halftime here, and it's a nice play by the Naperville North special teams there, because initially after that fake reverse, looked wide open down the sidelines for the kick returner, but the North defense closed quickly. Was able to cut down, came on an angle, bring him down at about the 36-yard line. Could have been much more for the Saints, but I'm sure they're happy with where they are right now.
First down and 10 for the Saints. They start play here in the third quarter, down 21-0. Powell ducks under center, I formation behind him. Give goes to Kevin Mullen, and he is going to be absolutely leveled in the backfield. That's number 4, Greg Perry. A nice open field tackle for a loss of 3 yards.
The Saints had some success in the first half going to the outside of the field as opposed to running down the middle. But that time, Greg Perry right on top of it, the senior linebacker, 5'10", 200 pounds. Great tackle there. Actually a loss of 2.
Second down and 13. Saints will run out of the shotgun formation. Draw goes up the middle. Nothing doing there at all for Jeff Alessino. And the Husky defense coming out raring here in the start of the second half.
Jeff Alessino, as soon as he hit the hole there, he put his head down, and he had some room to make a cut there, get a couple of yards out of it, but he ran right into the Naperville North defender. That's why it's so important as a running back, keep your head up, look for where you can make a cut, make a move with the ball, get some yards.
Third down and 12, and I know this isn't the way that the Saints wanted to start off their second half of play. Shotgun formation, Chris Powell. Two back split to each side of him. Powell looks back to pass, going over the middle. Incomplete for J.J. Lewis. Tried to thread the needle that time in triple coverage.
Like you said, Tim, very lucky nothing bad happened besides an incompletion for the Saints in that play. Because not only did he throw in the triple coverage, but he was the only guy that Powell was looking at the entire time. Lucky it's just fourth down, not an interception for the Huskies defense.
So the Saints waste a good return to start the second half, and they will have to kick it away.
Not only that, they give 2 yards back.
Jim Yesnick and Don Carlson back deep to receive for the Huskies. Lewis takes the snap, high, booming end-over-end kick, going to be taken at about the 28-yard line. That's Corey McEwen with the return. Fights his way forward, going to be tackled about the 46-yard line or so, and that's where the Huskies will start the second half of play.
As you said, the Huskies will begin at just about midfield. I'd like to put a quick 7 points on the board here.
Husky 46.
Make the Saints think about what it's going to take to come back from a 4-touchdown deficit.
17-yard return for Naperville North. Corey McEwen with the return. Waiting for the official signal to start play here, and here it is. Double wingback set for the Huskies. In motion goes Costantino. The give goes to him up the middle. Got some running room. Fights his way forward. A Husky first down. Tackled finally around the 43-yard line.
First down.
It'll be a first down and 10 for the Huskies, spotted at the St. Charles East 42. And Naperville North is on the move again.
Only 3 starters returning on defense this year for the St. Charles Saints. Some of that inexperience beginning to show, especially in the linebackers.
Receivers split off the far side. Give goes up the middle to Sarm. He loses a yard on that one as he's met at the line of scrimmage and driven back.
Sarm's just been unable to get going here in the first half, and now the first couple minutes of the second half of this football game tonight. He's got a long of only 6 yards on the evening. 6 carries for 15 yards. That was no gain. Steve Sarm not playing quite as well as he did last week.
It's against a much tougher defensive front in St. Charles East as well. Double wing back formation. Pitch goes around to McEwen. He gives the reverse handoff up the middle. It goes to Costantino. Fights his way forward inside the 40, tackled around the 38-yard line. Met there by number 55, Bill Carney.
You mentioned a much stronger St. Charles East defense, and that's true. They allowed only 11 yards in the first half last week to Evanston.
Multiply that by 16 and you have what they gave up in the first half today.
That's right, and also
not counting the 70-yard fumble return.
On the game, they allowed only 76 yards on 41 carries. So yes, a very good St. Charles East defense tonight.
Double wing back again. In motion goes Costantino. Give goes to McEwen up the middle, fighting his way forward and driven down.
McEwen, number 9.
That whole defensive line of the Saints in on the tackle that time. Call it no gain. I'll give it a gain of a yard. It'll be a 4th down and 4. And we'll see what the Huskies do at the 36-yard line of St. Charles East.
Matt Powell's in on that tackle for St. Charles. One of the first time we've mentioned his name tonight. He's one of the defensive ends on this St. Charles East stellar defensive line.
Naperville North opts to go for it. Dropping back is Sleddy. Wide receiver screen. First down and more as the pass is complete to Mike Roney, who fights his way forward inside the 30-yard line. Tackled at the 29. 1st and 10, Naperville North.
Line of scrimmage is the 29. That was
what a designed play that time by Coach McEwen as Don Sleddy dropped back to pass. Found the wide receiver screen to Mike Roney, who worked his way forward to get that first down.
Most of that Saints defense was bunched up in the middle there. Was able to slip out to the far side of the field. About a 7-yard gain.
Receiver split to the near side. There's the give off the middle. Constantino, he's going to go. 10-5 Huskies. Mike Constantino, a 29-yard touchdown run. And there's another big play for Naperville North as they go up 27-0.
Marty Fornelli, the center, the leader of this Naperville North offensive line, opened up a huge hole up the middle of the field for Constantino to run through. Not hard to do when you're 6'4" and 250 pounds. That's one of the times tonight, one of the few times tonight, we've really seen a big hole for the Naperville North rushers to go through, and Constantino did not miss it at all. He burst through that hole. Got a touchdown.
Nick Kostakis on to attempt the extra point. Through the uprights and good. Naperville North takes a 28-0 lead here, scoring on their first drive of the second half. And with 7:46 to play in the third quarter of action, Naperville North leads St. Charles East on your DBC Game of the Week by a count of 28-0. Back after this.
It is taken immediately and is first down for the Saints at the 37-yard line. That was 47 who caught it. Jumping it.
Back live from Naperville North High School. Short squib kick by Nick Kostakis that time. Taken at the 37-yard line and downed right there. That's where the Saints will begin this drive. Down now 28-0. Following the Mike Constantino 29-yard touchdown run. Saints got a lot of work here if they want to win this one with 7:45 to play in the third quarter. Still plenty of time to do it in, though, and a potential quick strike offense. Here's a play-action pass. Powell goes deep over the middle, tipped, finally knocked down and intercepted by the Huskies. Number 7, Brian Babushka. Wow, what a catch over the middle. And Scott, we saw the Huskies in the pregame show working on the deflections and trying to come up with those deflected passes. Doing it right there, and the Huskies will have it at their own 49-yard line with a chance to get on the board again.
You're right, Tim. That's exactly what happened that play. The ball tipped in the air by the St. Charles receiver, and North came down with it. They got wonderful pressure on Chris Powell, the quarterback for St. Charles East. He forced to throw over the middle of the field with dire consequences.
Sleddy drops back to pass, goes over the middle. He's got his man. Complete. 10-5 touchdown Huskies. Corey McEwen, a 51-yard touchdown pass. Wow, from Rob Sleddy. Naperville North's quick strike offense goes up again, and it's 34-0.
Hard to believe Corey McEwen, only a junior. 6'2", 195 pounds, an absolutely awesome linebacker, wide receiver, running back, just a great football player. And that was actually looked very similar to the play they scored on in the first half. He was streaking up the middle of the field, and Slutty found him.
Here's the extra point on its way. It goes up and through, make it 35-0 Naperville North. And they have scored 2 touchdowns in less than a minute, Scott.
McEwen.
Naperville North is impressing us very much here on their home opener here, leading St. Charles East 35-0 in your DuPage Valley Conference Game of the Week on WONC Naperville, Chicago. High end over end kick, short taken at the 14 by Kevin Mullen. Got some room to run and gets absolutely drilled. Nice open field tackle by Naperville North. Brandon Lubert in on the tackle. Absolutely drilling Kevin Mullen, and St. Charles East will take over at the 23-yard line.
He didn't even know he was going to tackle him.
I don't think he even saw him coming at him.
He had his back to the ball carrier. He just kind of bumped into him and went down.
That's a pretty vicious hit either way you look at it, I guess. St. Charles East has got to try to put something on the board here now in this game. They've got 7:16 on the clock. They're down 5 touchdowns. Give goes up the middle. Jake Rockefeller fights his way forward up to the 28-yard line.
27-yard line.
Call it a gain of 4 yards on that one.
30.
This is where it's somewhat difficult for St. Charles East to come back from such a deficit. This team is not built to pass. It's a team built to run and work that pass off of the run. But if you're unable to run because of the situation you're in here, down 35-0, it's tough for the pass plays to be effective for Chris Powell and the rest of the St. Charles East offense.
Powell ducks under center. He's got the offset eye behind him. This time the delayed draw going to go around to the near side. Fighting his way forward is Jeff Alessino. Nothing there. Up to the 31-yard line. Gets a couple. Bring up about a 3rd down and 2 here for the Saints. Clock ticking down. Now 6:20 to play in the 3rd quarter. Huskies on top big. 35-0 here over St. Charles East. St. Charles East, of course, from the Upstate 8 Conference, which has 11 members.
Yeah, the Big Ten has 11. Numbers don't matter much anymore.
Yeah, but it's the Big Ten with 11 as opposed to the Upstate 8 with 11. That's 3 more. Motion all over the offensive line this time. And it's probably going to be a false start called against the Saints. Back them up 5 yards and turn a 3rd and short into a 3rd and long.
Illegal motion, and it's against St. Charles.
That's at least the 3rd time I can remember them doing that tonight. 2nd and short, 3rd and short turned into over 5 yards to go now. A 5-yard false start penalty on the St. Charles East offense. We'll have to work even harder to make this 1st down.
They have been plagued by penalties in this game. It'll be a 3rd down and 7 from their own 26-yard line.
And really more than anything, just untimely penalties. Naperville North has their share of penalties tonight too, but it seems that St. Charles East penalties always seems to come back to hurt them.
Shotgun formation. Powell takes the snap, rolls to the far side, looks down the field. Slipping and falling is Jake Rockefeller, the intended receiver, right around the 1st down marker. Falls incomplete, and the Saints will have to kick it away.
It's 4th down.
Really a somewhat of an unimpressive set of plays there reeled off by the St. Charles East Saints. Tried to run the ball twice up the middle with some limited results, and then a rollout that seemed busted from the beginning. Throw was nowhere near the intended receiver.
J.J. Lewis set to kick it away for the Saints. Back deep to receive. Jim Yesnick and Don Carlson for the Huskies. High kick taken by Yesnick at about his 33-yard line. Got some running room out to the 40. Runs into one of his own blockers. Turns the corner. Still continues to fight his way forward to about the 42-yard line, where he's finally driven down by the St. Charles East Saints.
Just seems that the Naperville North offense never starts possession from deep in their own territory. Here again, they're starting, it's just a short field every time out for the Naperville North Huskies. Now they're working on only 58 yards to the goal line. They never seem to start with the ball inside their own 20, inside their own 30 even. Making that St. Charles East defense work harder to try to stop them from scoring when the field is so short.
5 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Here comes an interesting shift from the Huskies as they run 2 of those wingbacks to the near side. The pitch goes around to Sarm. He's got some room to run. Fights his way across midfield, close to that 1st down marker. Going to be just short, it looks like. Give him a gain of 9, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 1 for the Huskies.
That's the first time all evening we've really seen Steve Sarm get his legs moving, get his momentum going forward. He's a big enough guy at 6 foot, 200 pounds, that if he can get that body of mass going, he can run over some guys. It's about a 9-yard gain. That, as I said, the first time Sarm's really gone outside anywhere where he's been able to get some speed behind him.
Well, Sarm followed McEwen and Costantino, the backs, that time. Here's a draw up the middle. It goes. Costantino with the carry. Takes it to about the Saints' 45-yard line. It'll be another 1st down for the Huskies with 4:42 to go in the 3rd quarter.
With the double wing offense that the Huskies are running, when they do put together a drive, it's going to take a lot of time off the clock. It's just not going to stop very often when they keep running the ball.
I don't think the Saints really want the clock to stop right now. Having been hit by huge plays today, every touchdown the Huskies have scored on has been a big play. 5 big plays, 4 of them offensive, 1 of them, of course, a 70-yard fumble return. Here's the double wing set in the backfield. Give goes up the middle. That's Sarm. Fights his way forward, picks up about 3 yards. Tackled around the 42-yard line. Bringing up a 2nd down and 7.
2nd and 7.
Huskies just wearing down that defensive front of St. Charles, it looks like now. Saints very worn on that defensive line. Very beat down and upset. Not really sure what Naperville North is going to throw at them next. So many different options out of that double wing set that the Huskies run. Here it is again, 2 split to the near side. Wide receiver screen this time. It goes to Mike Roney. He's got some room to go. Makes the catch, loses the handle. Ball is loose, and I believe St. Charles has it. There's a pile up on the ground, and the official signals the Saints have recovered. Number 54, J.R. Eli, in on the fumble recovery. Mike Roney trying to get too greedy with that one, and it'll be a first down for the Saints after the turnover, and they've got to cash in here with 3:29 to go in the third quarter.
Time's running out for the St. Charles Saints if they want to make a game of it. They're down 5 touchdowns, but as Naperville North has proven throughout this game, you don't need a lot of time on the clock to score points. Just big plays. That's what St. Charles East has really been lacking tonight. They haven't had a 20-yard run or a 20-yard pass, and then they can really hang their hat on is moving the chains and putting the ball downfield.
Don't forget the Saints have been inside the Naperville North red zone twice, have been unable to convert, and have stopped the Huskies twice as well inside their red zone. So it could be a very different game if the Saints can convert a little bit. Rockefeller picks up 5 yards up the middle, brings up a 2nd down and 5 for St. Charles East with about 3:10 to play in the third quarter now.
Longest gain in the evening for the Saints was that pass just before the half, a 33-yard completion down the far sideline. Other than that, 10-yard run by Rockefeller. As I said, not a lot of impact plays so far in the evening from the St. Charles East Saints.
Don't understand why St. Charles East isn't going to the air more. Here's a delayed play-action pass. No time to throw as Powell has 3 guys in his face as he tries to get rid of that one. Incomplete for Jake Rockefeller. 3rd down and 5.
Greg Perry was the guy putting the pressure on Powell for the Naperville North Huskies. Look at, they were trying to set up some kind of wide receiver screen, which they've run a couple times tonight to the far side of the field. But the defensive line was able to penetrate too fast. Powell had to get the ball away before he was forced to eat it.
3rd down and 5 for St. Charles East here. Shotgun formation. 2 receivers split to each side. Alessino to the left of Powell. Powell drops back to pass. Got time over the middle. Going and complete over the middle to Jake Rockefeller. Nice catch. Fights his way down to the 34-yard line, and you talked about an impact play. That's what you need. But Jake Rockefeller is down. At the 34-yard line of Naperville North, they trail at 35-0. 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Lining up in the shotgun formation is Powell. Takes the snap. It's a clean one. Rolls out, and the pass is knocked away. Going to go incomplete.
Incomplete pass.
All kinds of pressure that time coming from the near side.
I think Powell might have been trying to pump fake on that play, and the ball, I think the ball actually just might have slipped out of his hands, incomplete. Of note here for the Naperville North Huskies, Greg Wunderlich, freshman sensation quarterback, getting to warm up on the sidelines. We might see him next time down the field for the Naperville North Huskies.
Would be his debut here for the Huskies. Shotgun formation once again for St. Charles East. 2 receivers to each side. Powell takes the snap, drops back, has no time, now finally decides to run. Got some room to go, goes downfield, incomplete. Intended for Kevin Mullen at about the 20-yard line. He was double teamed there, and every time St. Charles East gets something going, they can't get anywhere. Got guys in the in the face of Chris Powell every time he tries to drop back and throw.
Not sure why Powell decided to try that pass there. It looked like if he would have brought the ball down and just decided to make a run for it, he might have had a shot at making that first down marker at about the 24-yard line. Instead, he chose the pass, fell incomplete. Makes it 3rd and 10 for the St. Charles East Saints.
Shotgun formation for the 3rd consecutive play. Here's the wide receiver screen. It goes. Lewis got some room to go, fights his way forward down around the 22-yard line. Going to be a first down for the Saints.
They've ran that play probably about a half a dozen times tonight. Wide receiver screened most of the time to J.J. Lewis. That time very successful, allowing them about 11 yards, got them the first down. And again, once you get the ball in J.J. Lewis's hands, a lot of things can happen. That's probably what the coaching staff over at the Saints sidelines are thinking right now.
2 minutes to play in the third quarter. 1st down and 10 for St. Charles East. Here's the shotgun formation. Powell's going to keep it himself this time after he fakes the draw, and he's going to go down for a loss of 2 yards. Fake the give to Alessino and kept it himself and got met by a horde of Husky defenders. They weren't fooled. Dropped back for a loss of a yard.
And right about in this area is where the Saints have struggled all night long. Driving to about the 20-yard line of the Huskies has been no problem. They've done it on the ground. They've done it in the air, too. but when they get down to about the 20, 25-yard line, offense seems to stall. Haven't been able to put much together all night, the Saints.
Second down and call it 12 officially from the 25-yard line of Naperville North. Low snap this time. Powell takes it. Got nowhere to go. Finally got some running room, though. Going to work his way to the outside. Kicks it all the way around. Going to be tackled inside the 10-yard line at around the 6-yard line. First down for the Saints. And, hey, they're finally able to move the ball and down inside the red zone for the third time today. Can they convert this time? That's the question we're about to find out the answer to.
Powell had all kinds of room here on the near side of the field, and this time he did decide to bring the ball down, made a run for it, got the first down. That's something they haven't been doing too often this week, allowing Powell room to run.
Perhaps that's one of the things the coach has told Powell is to tuck it and run in this situation. First down and goal to go for the first time tonight for the Saints. Powell ducks under center, pro set, give goes up the middle, fights his way forward. Alessino tackled around the 3-yard line.
Inside the 5. 27 is the ball carrier.
And call it a second down and goal from the 3. And we are down to 20 seconds to go here in the third quarter. It could be too little, too late for the Saints here. They trail at 35-0 with 10 seconds now ticking down here in the third quarter. Maybe they'll be able to get this last play off on second and goal. I think they're just going to be content to let that go, and they will indeed, as that will do it for the third quarter of play. Naperville North uses 2 big explosive plays again. A touch. And tomorrow, be sure to stop by the Last Fling and say hello to the Pure Rock staff from 4 until 8. Here's the pro set formation in the backfield to start the fourth quarter. Powell gives it up the middle. Kevin Mullen breaks free into the end zone. Touchdown. Saints there on the board.
Coach Butcher there on the sidelines for St. Charles East made a smart move there with only 3 yards to go to get into the goal. They ran the ball right over Dave Huber, 6'3", 275-pound offensive lineman. Anchors that line for St. Charles East. They just went right over his back, got the 3 yards they needed to put some points on the board for the first time all night long, and finally coming through in the red zone.
Well, that's got to be a positive for the Saints. J.J. Lewis on to attempt the extra point. Kick is up. It is through now, 35-7. Naperville North leads. And we'll see if the Saints are maybe thinking onside kick here with 11:57 to go. Might be something to put a little fire into that.
Here's the kick by J.J. Lewis. It's an onside kick.
There's a pile underneath, and the Huskies are pointing their way. There is only one guy over there to recover it for the Saints, and the Saints are going to have it. J.J. Lewis recovers the onside kick. He's the guy who kicked it. And the Saints have the ball at the Husky 45-yard line. And all of a sudden, they've provided some cardiopulmonary resuscitation to themselves with the recovery of that one, trying to get back into this game down 35-7.
Well, if there's one thing that St. Charles had all game, it has not been a little bit of luck. Finally, on an onside kick, Saints do get lucky, recover. J.J. Lewis comes up with it. A side note, looking at that point after touchdown, I'm not sure why they don't let J.J. Lewis kick some field goals, because that was a pretty kick.
11:52 on the clock. Saints scored on that last play to start the fourth quarter. Give goes up the middle, fighting his way forward and getting a couple yards is Alessino, spotted at the 43, pickup of 2. Kevin Mullen has come into the game to replace Jake Rockefeller. He did come in at the last injury. Mullen has been playing a wide receiver mostly today for the Saints.
Yeah, Mullen will alternate between playing running back and wide receiver for this St. Charles East team. Played a little bit of both last week with good results.
And Rockefeller is down on the sideline there, a little shaken up, right behind that St. Charles East bench.
Last week, Mullen ran 4 times for 27 yards.
Pro set formation in the backfield. Give goes up the middle. Mullen, he's got some room to run, fighting his way forward inside the 40. Finally drilled down around the 39-yard line. Met there by a swarm of Huskies. In on that tackle included is Greg Perry. Bring up a third down and 4 for the Saints.
44, David Choi was there to help. That's a 4-yard gain.
So clock now ticking, under 11 minutes to go in this one. Naperville North leading St. Charles East 35-7 in their home opener. Once again, the pro set formation, 2-back split to each side, or 2 receivers rather, 1 to each side. Play action pass, no time to throw, goes over the middle, pass is complete. That's number 81, Jeff Della, in on the catch there for the Saints, a first down. That's the second time we've seen a completion over the middle to a tight end.
That was an 11-yard gain.
It's another time where we saw the Saints offensive line pretty much let the Huskies defensive line come as much as they wanted towards the quarterback. Chris Powell was able to get the ball off just in time to his tight end, makes his first catch of the game. Jeff Della, 6'2", 180 pounds, junior.
Powell's pocket has been collapsing all night long. I formation, give goes up the middle. Alessino fights his way forward to about the 25-yard line. Was going to say it doesn't seem to be bothering Powell that he doesn't have any time to throw. He's still being very patient in hitting those receivers.
Yeah, he looked very patient even in the warm-ups. He just stood back there and gave his receivers a nice, easy throw to their hands right near the numbers where they could reel it in. He's been impressive so far tonight, Chris Powell has.
Call it a pickup of 3 yards, a short 3 yards. Option play, kick to the outside. Mullen got room to run, breaks it free. On the 20, 10-5, touchdown Saints. They're on the board again. Beautiful run by Kevin Mullen, scoring from 25 yards out, his second touchdown of the night. And just like that, Naperville North hasn't even touched the ball in the second quarter, and the Saints have put 2 touchdowns on the board.
Naperville North showed St. Charles East earlier you don't need a lot of time to score. St. Charles East taking a page out of the Huskies playbook there, as Mullen, just in for the injured Rockefeller, scores on a nice run down the far sideline.
Here's the extra point attempt. That one is up and through. Make it 35-14, Naperville North now. Wow, things have taken an interesting twist here. Saints coming up with a lot of life in that offense here in the start of the fourth quarter.
J.J. Lewis. Number 6 with the reception for the Huskies is Jeff Powell.
So they tried to squib that one over the front line of the Husky defense, or the Huskies special teams rather. Couldn't come up with that one. Naperville North will have it for the first time in the fourth quarter.
Greg Wunderlich has come in to play quarterback for the Naperville North Huskies. He's a freshman.
Quarterback for the Huskies, number 10 is Greg Wunderlich.
We will see Greg Wunderlich make his varsity debut here. Have heard nothing but good things about him. Ducks under center. He's working with the first team offense as well. Gives it to Steve Sarm, breaks a tackle, fights his way to the outside around the 40-yard line. Finally brought down around the 43 after a pickup of 6 yards.
Sarm big enough to run over guys if he wants to, and he did there. Spun out of a tackle, broke it to the outside, ran over a St. Charles East defender. Got about 5 yards. Wunderlich now in quarterback for the Naperville North Huskies. 5'11", 155-pound freshman. As you said, Tim, nothing but rave reviews about this young man's play so far.
Supposedly could be potentially a starter for this Husky team. Give goes to Cosentino, fights his way forward. Stopped about a yard short of the first down. Call it at the 47 officially. 3rd down and 1 to go.
Don't know how much we'll be able to see from Wunderlich tonight in a 35-14 blowout, could you say? 21-point lead now for the Huskies. I'm sure he'll mostly be expected just to hand the ball off to either Sarm, Constantino, or McCune.
It's a good chance to give the freshman some game experience, though, as well, especially against that tough defensive front of the Saints. Here's a big chance for him here, 3rd and 1. If the Saints can stop him and then score, we could have a ball game for ourselves here. Give goes up the middle. Steve Sarm breaks free. He's got some room to go down the sideline. We get a 53-yard touchdown run from Steve Sarm, and it's 41-14.
Not sure if Steve Sarm even had a hand laid on him on that play. He broke through the line with ease, and as we've been talking throughout the entire game, the St. Charles East linebackers have not been playing very well on the evening. There, once again, no one even near Sarm after the first line of defenders took it all the way in for the score. First one of the evening for Sarm.
Well, here's the extra point attempt now. Nick Kostakis on to kick it. Short one off the upright. Does it go through? No, it does not. Bounces off the upright and misses.
Keep them with you. Hey, listen, as soon as you're done running around, put them on.
And 40 are deep. 19 is Clausen, 40 is Lewis. 19 with the reception is Taylor Clausen.
31-yard line. We'll have to wait till the pile on is completed, and they will indeed have it. First down and 10 there. They trail 41-14. Want to take a quick moment to thank our engineer this evening back in the studios, Tim Messer, doing a fantastic job as always for us. We'll be back at it again next Friday night. DVC Game of the Week coming to you from Wheaton-Warrenville South High School. Our first chance to see the Tigers this year as they will play host to the Naperville Central Redhawks in the first clash of Titans here, and a very important game for both of those two teams. 8:26 on the clock. Huskies lead 41-14. In the backfield, Powell continues to remain at quarterback. Give goes to Mullen. He's got some room to run. Breaks free. He's to midfield. Fights his way across. Finally brought down at about the 49-yard line of Naperville North. A big run and a first down.
We're at a point in the game now where St. Charles East really just wants to work on their offense. See what the players can do out there against a very tough Naperville North linebacking crew. A very experienced defensive line for the Huskies as well. Down now 25 points.
If your math serves you correct.
I'm sorry, I'm wrong.
You're way wrong. 27.
27 points. Man, they just want to see if they can run the ball effectively here. Powell with a very tough defense.
Powell with the play action pass. Nice move there. It does some good backing around. Wide receiver screen for about 2 yards. It goes to Matt Reynolds, who had to make sure he was in bounds. Call it a pickup of 2. Second down and 8. Nice idea and a great athletic move there by Powell.
Powell's been scurrying around that backfield all night long. Naperville North defensive line has been getting some very good pressure on him. He's been able to squirm free. That time made a very athletic play, able to get the 2-yard completion before the defenders got to him.
Going back to that play a couple plays ago with Kevin Mullen, the big run that got the Saints this first down. Kevin Mullen in the game because of Jake Rockefeller's injury. Here's the give to Mullen. That time he's wrestled down, got maybe a yard. Going to be a face mask penalty thrown in there, though. Flags all over the place as somebody tackled in by his helmet. I was going to say it's a good chance to see what he can do as a running back. Splits as both the running back and a receiver for these Saints. Is it going to be a personal foul or will it be an incidental?
It's a 15-yard penalty there, Tim.
Would be a personal foul, face mask, because of the fact that he tackled him by the face mask as opposed to just grabbing it while bringing him down. St. Charles East on the move again at the Naperville North 31-yard line. And Scott, what a different ball game it might be if the Saints have gotten into that end zone in those 2 red zone opportunities earlier in this game.
And again,
all kinds of motion on the offensive line. Misread on the snap count that time. It'll be a false start back. The Saints up 5 yards. 2
big mistakes, too, by the St. Charles East offense. The fumble, which led to a 70-yard touchdown run by Kevin Choi, linebacker for Naperville North. And then also the interception thrown by Chris Powell, which led to a 1-play, 30-yard touchdown drive for the Naperville North Huskies. St. Charles East scores in their 2 red zone possessions. Don't make those mistakes to hold their ball game. But then again, those mistakes happen, and Naperville North has certainly capitalized on them.
Choi, one of the captains of this Husky team. Mullen, delayed draw. It goes up the middle and absolutely met and drilled back. Jeff Alessino loses about 4 yards on that one. Bring it back to about the 39-yard line. And you're going the wrong direction, St. Charles. Second down and about 19 yards to go here. The Saints will line up in the shotgun formation with 2 receivers split to each side, and Alessino, the lone back in the backfield, split to the left of Powell. Here comes the blitz again from the Huskies. Pass over the middle, tipped away, and knocked down. David Choi, the senior linebacker for the Huskies, getting his hands in there again.
Those linebackers have been all over the place for the Huskies tonight. David Choi having an excellent game. He came up with that 70-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown, getting a hand in on that pass deflection. Dropping back in coverage. These linebackers for Naperville North can pretty much do it all.
So 3rd down and 19 yards to go here for the Saints. 6:27 to go on the clock. They trail by 27. Shotgun formation once again. 2 receivers to each side. Taking the snap is Powell. No time to throw. Wide receiver screen. It goes over the middle, complete to Mullen. He'll get 2 yards to about the 37, and that'll bring up a 4th and 17.
41, Jeff Durr was there.
Jeff Durr in on the tackle.
For a club that pretty much wants to confuse the defense, which they want to do with their shotgun formation, throwing in different looks and wide receivers. The Saints do run that same play over and over again. That wide receiver screen.
That's the only thing that's really getting them anything in the air. That's the only thing that I can think about it.
As we said earlier, that's at least a chance to make sure the ball gets in the hands of J.J. Lewis. They're all everything, safety, wide receiver, kick returner, etc.
Although that time it went to Kevin Mullen. Here's the shotgun formation. Saints will go for it on 4th down. Powell airs it out down the far sideline. Knocked away and out of bounds.
Just nothing on that pass from Powell. Lame duck flying towards the far side of the field, about 30 yards from the line of scrimmage. Needed a miracle for that one to come down, A, in bounds, and B, to be caught. Neither happened. Naperville North will take over possession, firmly in control of this game. They lead 41-14. 5:33 left on the clock, and as we said, Greg Wunderlich will be getting some very good practice handing the ball off to his talented group of running backs.
Brian Vavruska got his hands in on that one on the play. Also Don Carlson. Double wing back set. Give goes up the middle. Met right away by the swarm of Saints. That's Pat Roche, number 11, just checking into the game. 5'7" junior.
Line of scrimmage will be the 37. No gain.
Call it a gain of nothing on that play. This will be a chance now, Scott, for Greg Wunderlich to practice handing the ball off to his other friends on that offensive team that are just trying to get some game experience now for the Huskies.
As we said, it's not necessarily the skill level of these running backs, though it does help. It's a system that really creates a lot of good running backs in this Husky offense.
And it's also the fact that they're getting some playing time that allows these guys to come back next year. Wunderlich will keep it himself and get drilled that time.
And you know that 200...
I mean, if it isn't for guys, Steve Sarm was starting last season, but I mean, you got Mike Costantino, who wasn't on the team last year, who came in and had a fantastic game for him today.
And McEwen also a junior, both those guys.
Oh, McEwen played varsity for him last season. Didn't start at running back.
And both those guys will have 1 year left remaining.
McEwen did start in the defensive side of the ball and did see lots of valuable carries last season in game situations just like this that have allowed him to get to the level where he is this year.
Doesn't hurt when you have an offensive line averaging 240 pounds either.
Wunderlich back under center. Double wings behind him. Give once again to Roach. This time Roach fights his way forward, gonna get maybe another yard. And the Huskies will be content to kick it away under 4 minutes to play in your DVC game of the week. Naperville North on top 41-14. And I would imagine this time we might see the Saints bring in their backup quarterback, Ben Fishbune, as well. We'll have to see, though. Fighting Saints went 6-3 last year and missed the 6A playoffs, although with the expansion of the 8-class system this year, they would have been in.
First time in 10 years that the Saints did miss the playoffs. It was Richard. Another round of the season.
In to kick for the Huskies is number 81, Chris Cahill. Short end over end kick, taking a bounce at the 50. Huskies let it roll. Going to be down to about the 47-yard line. And that's where St. Charles East will take over with 3:16 on the clock. And Chris Powell will come out at quarterback again. So the Saints are clearly trying to see what this offense can do against a very formidable state opponent. A team that is very highly up in the polls, and Saints trying to see what they can do against them offensively.
And this is really Chris Powell's offense. He helped design it, helped install it along with Coach Butcher there. He's the one that's going to be running it all year long, so no reason to take him out at this point.
Option play given to Mullen, breaks free, got some room to run. He's to the 30, fights his way forward, finally wrestled down inside the 20-yard line.
Kevin Mullen.
Call it officially at the 20. A big run by Kevin Mullen.
Down Saints to the 20-yard line.
43-yard pickup, and what a second half he has had.
Kevin Mullen has looked magnificent in his carries here in the second half. The thing you notice about him is after he gets the ball, starts going downfield, he always squares his shoulders towards the end zone, gets the momentum going in the right way, tries to bowl over guys as well, but those shoulders always square as he takes the ball down the field.
Mullen 5'8", 150, I formation in the backfield, gives up the middle. That's Alessino, and Alessino has had a very, very quiet day. The 5'8", 195 senior has had problems. Every run has been like that, only 2 or 3 yards. Usually that could get it done against another defensive front. You usually would be able to break one at some point in time, but not against this Naperville North team.
Alessino has had a rough week after a very good beginning of the season. 11 carries, 77 yards last week. The story is quite different against the tough Naperville North defense.
Throw set formation. Powell drops back to pass. Got his man Lewis in the corner of the end zone, off his hands and out of bounds. Clearly that was the play they wanted to do the whole day. That wide receiver fade into the corner. Nice coverage by the Huskies. Number 34, Nick Helms. And it'll be a 3rd down and 7 for the Saints with 2:15 to go in this one.
We will be back next week with coverage of Naperville Central at Wheaton South, a 7:30 kickoff here in your home for DVC football, WONC.
Every 30 minutes, someone is killed by a drunk driver. A typical American college student spent
Chris Powell gets out of bounds.
That's for that there. 2:08 to go in this one, though. 4th down and 1. St. Charles East will go for it at the Naperville North 12-yard line. So 5th time down in the red zone for the Saints. Actually, 4th time down in the red zone for the Saints today. Converted on only one of the previous 3. See what they can do here. Split formation in the backfield. Powell's going to give it up the middle, fighting his way forward and tackled around the 4-yard line.
That's Jeff Alessino.
And Jeff Alessino finally picking up a big gain there.
One of the first times he's been able to break one all day for St. Charles East. Had a long of 7 in the first half. Scott, about a 7-yard carry there.
Scott was trying to tell you listeners at home that next Friday night we'll be at Wheaton-Warrenville South High School as the Naperville Central Redhawks open the conference season against the Tigers of Wheaton-Warrenville South. If you're thinking ahead, Naperville North next Friday, they will be playing Wheaton North. 1st and goal for the Saints from the 3-yard line. Here's the give up the middle, fighting his way forward, coming up just short is Alessino. Ball is out on the ground, but the officials are saying he is down. 1:28 to go now. Clock continuing to tick its way down. St. Charles East trying to get on the board and make this a little bit more respectable, but all in all, we've seen a very, very good Naperville North team today. And a St. Charles East team that in its own right is very good, but just matched up against a very powerful team today. Powell will give it up the middle. Kevin Mullen tripped up in the backfield, but he does fight his way forward into the end zone for another 3-yard touchdown run. Kevin Mullen's 3rd touchdown of the day. And that will make it 41-20. with that one. Scott, this is a St. Charles East team that will in all likelihood be in the playoffs this year. But we will have to see how everything shapes out. High snap on the extra point attempt. The kick is up and through. 41-21, Naperville North leads following the Kevin Mullen touchdown run. Now we'll take a timeout here on WONC. 1:07 to play in your DuPage Valley Conference Game of the Week. Huskies line up to that side. J.J. Lewis is the kicker. Here's the onside kick attempt. Going to go scampering around. Ball is loose on the floor. St. Charles East is claiming they have it. Wait for the official signal. I believe the Huskies came up with it. Or did the Saints got it. St. Charles East recovered by number 73, Tim Ainsworth. First time we've mentioned his name in a while. But it will be a first down and 10 for the Saints at the Naperville North 49-yard line. 1:04 now to play in this game. The Saints trying to make that score a little bit closer than the game actually was. Well, Scott, I think you'd agree with me that, well, if they do score here, the game, I don't think it was really that close of a ball game, to be honest with you.
Naperville North clearly was the superior team tonight, but I don't think the Saints have anything to be embarrassed about. They've played fairly well defensively, and offensively, they've moved the ball somewhat on the ground as well as through the air.
Pass complete on the far sideline to number 82, Matt Reynolds. Tight end, his first catch of the day. First down for the Saints. Under a minute now to play. 56 seconds to go in this one. That last score, and certainly whatever they do here, has been against the second team of the Huskies as well, though.
Really been impressed throughout the evening, Tim, with the poise Chris Powell has shown back in the pocket. Even when North has got a very good rush going at him, which has been fairly often tonight, he stood back there strong, tall, and taking the hit when he's had to.
There's the wide receiver screen to J.J. Lewis, incomplete. That's how he's thinking about running downfield before he had that one in between his hands and dropped it. 38 seconds to go now, 2nd and 10 from the Husky 37-yard line. So Naperville North will move to 2-0 on the season, barring a miracle here in the last 38 seconds of the game. St. Charles East will fall to 1-1, and Naperville North will be 2-0 moving into conference play next week against Wheaton North. Shotgun formation once again for the Saints. Powell takes the snap, drops back to pass, goes down the sideline, overthrows his receiver, J.J. Lewis. Had him wide open, just overthrew him that time, falls incomplete. 3rd down and 10 now for the Saints. And 32 seconds up on the clock.
Certainly this game has not been as close as the score would indicate, not even at 41-21. Many of St. Charles East points coming here in the later stages of the game. Let's not forget that Naperville North had a 35-0 lead at one point in this game.
Although the Saints have also been controlling the clock as well, but you don't really need to control the clock when you get the big plays. Powell drops back to pass, high throw, complete to Kevin Mullen, out of bounds. And a first down around the 21-yard line with 26 seconds to go. As you did say, Scott, Naperville North was leading at this game 35-0 against the St. Charles East team. On a series of big plays, all Naperville North touchdowns today have been on plays of 29 yards or more. Kevin Mullen has 3 touchdowns for the Saints on the ground, resulting in their 21 points. McEwen has 2 touchdowns for the Saints. Here's the give, gonna go. Powell's gonna keep it himself, drop to the outside, got some room down the field. Complete it goes. Kevin Mullen dives his way forward, gonna be stopped just short of the goal line. Looked like there was a little battle between Kevin Mullen and Jeff Della to catch that ball.
Good thing Mullen realized he wasn't going to get it, went downfield to block then. But again, we talked about the poise that Chris Powell was showing in the pocket, and there once again.
Myself, and then going down the right side, Kevin Mullen fought off his teammate for the reception and nearly got into the end zone. Here's a 1st and goal from the 1, gives up the middle. Alessino, he gets in the end zone, touchdown Saints.
27 with the score. Give Alessino.
Too little, too late, though, for St. Charles East, rather. It'll go to 41-27 on the scoreboard.
As you said earlier, Tim, much moving of the football down the field, and these past two scores coming against the Huskies' second-string defense.
Extra point on the way, up and through, 41-28 your score, 13-point game. Saints, I'm assuming, will go for the onside kick here. But we'll see what happens. J.J. Lewis set to try the onside kick once more. Here it is. High bouncer going to be fielded and taken right there. Steve Sarm at the 47-yard line. 9 seconds to go. Naperville North's going to come out on the field and take a knee, and that will do it for this one. Too little, too late for the Saints. As we said, Scott had their chances early in this one, couldn't stop the big play, and couldn't convert on their own side either. That's what ultimately cost them this game. A very good football team and a very interesting offense that likes to mix plays up. They're going to be a team to be reckoned with in the Upstate 8 Conference with 11 teams. And the Saints will line up, or the Huskies rather, will line up to take a knee. Down to a knee goes Wunderlich. And he concludes his varsity debut, and the Huskies have themselves a 41-28 win. Naperville North wins this one by a count of 41-28.
Lincoln on 10. Is that our official spot for the season right there? It stays there.